Hi, good morning. How's everyone today? I hope that you are enjoying a pretty peaceful life and calm heart. Okay, I'm Angelina, your host for today. So let me thank you for tuning into this Dhamma talk. We shall continue with the Infinite Lifetime Sutra. So for the last episode, we have started to discuss about the first Bodhisattva that was being announced in this Dhamma. Okay, it is the uh, 普贤菩萨. Okay, 普贤菩萨. So last week we have already spoken. There are 10 vows of 普贤菩萨. Okay, Samantabhadra. So the 10 vows of Samantabhadra. The first one is 一者礼敬诸佛. Okay, so we respect all Buddhas. So in the respect all Buddhas, we have also spoken about animate and inanimate objects. Okay, including you can respect humans, you can respect animals, you can respect those beings that we do not see with our naked eye, like the heavenly beings or even those at the lower realms of existence, because they have in them the Buddha seed. Each of us have a Buddha seed inside. Okay, originally we are Buddha. That is why all of us can become Buddhas again. So it's just a matter of time. And what will help to expedite this is how much we have let go. Okay, how much we have seen through that nothing in this world is really worth the aggravation, to be honest, right? So 礼敬诸佛, other than the beings that are moving around, like, alive, there's also those that are not alive. That means the inanimate objects like your pen, your handphone, your computer, your spectacles, your books, everything. All right, because every single matter that is formed was actually, if scientifically you look at it, it is from the source of an atom. Okay, and all these atoms, if there is nothing at all, the atoms should be still unmoving. Okay, or but if you were to look at the atoms really carefully, all right, there is always a vibration, right? So this vibration will connect with our thoughts. That's also another vibration, and from this connection it will form into the object. Okay, last week I cited an example of a painter who was obsessed about painting horses, and the wife saw a horse lying in bed instead of her husband when he was taking a nap. And then when he woke up, his wife was terrified and told him what happened, what she saw. So you can see whatever that you think about, it manifests, and it will create the form that people can see. Okay, it will manifest into a physical form. So if you are a believer of this power of manifestation, then you don't waste time manifesting into something that is like just in this world. Okay, if you're a believer of karma, you believe strongly that karma exists, that the law of cause and effect exists, that if you were to plant good seeds, you do good deeds, you say good words, good actions, good thoughts, then good comes to you. And vice versa, if you are bad, you say bad things, you scheme to harm other people, you try to, like now you see in the office, there's gaslighting, there is the politics, there is the people stealing the credit of other people, right? All these things are actually bad seeds. So when you plant bad seeds, for a moment you might reap something that is momentarily good. Like for example, if you were to discredit or you steal the credit, the merits of someone for their efforts, then most probably you will get a praise or two, and maybe you even get a promotion for stealing the credit. But in the long run, you will be faced with a lot of troubles, a lot of problems, because you did not own that credit, you did not own that merit. Okay, you're not up to that sort of you can call it a level or a standard to deserve that kind of effect. Okay, so that is another story. So now we look at the second. Okay, 一者礼敬诸佛. Number two, 二者称赞如来. Okay, when we translate this, we praise the Ru-Lai is a future Buddha. Okay, we praise the future Buddhas. Who are the future Buddhas? For some surface glance of it, Chentan Ru-Lai for our world, surface of it is Maitreya Buddha. Okay, you know Maitreya Buddha, the one that you depict, they draw him as a Buddha Hershang. That means that monk who is really fat, really jovial. His tummy is so big and he carries a bag around with him. Okay, why? What is the representation of all this? Okay, that big fat belly and the smiley face is actually telling us to embrace everything that's coming. Okay, whatever that the world cannot embrace, we embrace it with a happy heart. We embrace it while smiling, right? Anything that we are not good, or whatever, to other people, this can be called as not a good thing. But if you were to look at it in a different way, it can be something that is beneficial. Okay, something that helps us probably to burn off the bad karma and to be able to help us clear off the old debts and allow us to utilize our new ones. Okay, new merits, new credits. Okay, so when we talk about Chentan Ru-Lai, as we know in the first one, Li Jing Tu For, we pay homage to the Buddha. We already know each of us have a body seed, right? Each of us are a Buddha inside. It's just a matter of time when we start peeling off that numerous layers that has been accumulated over the lifetime. We peel off one by one. We let go. Okay, let go of what in this world, in this mundane world that we have. We let go of our materials. Okay, there are three types of charity. Okay, charity, 财布施、法布施和位布施. So 财布施 is the charity of wealth. Okay, you give money, you give financial aid, you give materials. Okay, what is the most basic, the lowest level actually, the thing that you can see with your eyes, the things that can be bought by money. Okay, it's about the money, that tool. If you're able to let go of that tool, you are in control of that tool. Okay, and when you let go of that tool in a good way, okay, for charity purposes, you are actually planting seeds. Okay, being charitable means you're planting seeds. You are disseminating the seeds into your field. Okay, if you were to donate like $1, you are planting one seed of $1 to the person who is the recipient, right? And if this recipient, okay, because of your $1, he is able to benefit with whatever dollars that he have, he's able to buy himself a packet of food, right? So in the collection, although it is just $1, it may become a significant amount to collect into the amount is sufficient for this person to fulfill his needs. Okay, so you have planted the seed, he owes you. All right, he may return the $1 to you, whatever. Okay, but if you have given without any form of an attachment to it, give it to charity, give it to those people who cannot repay you. Okay, they will own, unless it's like it's actually a debt, give and take. Okay, debit and credit, so it's a long journey ahead. So past life they may have given you something, so this life you are returning that dollar to them, right? And because you have given without any need for the return, they may repay you again. They will return it to you again this life or in the next life. And you can be sure, if you have given sincerely without any thought of getting any returns, it will come back to you in leaps and bounds. Okay, with the interest, with the dividend. Okay, so when we're talking about future Buddhas, we are talking about each and every one of us, paying respect to each and every one of us. Chantan Rulai, we praise the future Buddha. We praise them. Okay, a lot of you may say, what, you crazy? Some people are just not worth the praise. Some people are just terrible right to the core. Okay, right to the core. The core itself, each of us are a Buddha, and Buddhas cannot be terrible, right? So what you do is that we refer to 善财童子. Okay, who is 善财童子? Let me read the name. Sudana Kumara. Okay, 善财童子. Sudana Kumara. Right. Sudana Kumara is often depicted as a young child. Okay, 善财童子, a young boy. And in one of the larger sutras, okay, there is 善财童子53餐. That means Sudana Kumara visit to 53 different people. Okay, so Sudana Kumara first learned about the Buddha, about this Amitabha, about Buddhism with one teacher. Okay, and I think it is also I can't remember who. I need to check back. 善财童子. Okay, and it's sometimes translated as the child of wealth. Okay, in the normal picture, okay, usually you will see 善财童子 beside Avalokitesvara, 观世音菩萨. Some of the pictures will paint 观世音菩萨 Avalokitesvara with two children. Okay, one a teenage girl, one is a young child. That young child is who they refer to as the 善财童子. So 善财童子learned about the Dharma, and then he went around to visit 53. Okay, 53 other bodhisattvas. Okay, but these bodhisattvas, they come in disguised as normal humans. Okay, but when we don't understand, okay, we don't read in between the lines of the Dharma, all these 53 people to us are normal people. Okay, normal people with normal vocations. So he visited and he will go through things like he sees people who are virtuous, he sees people who are not so virtuous. Okay, he even met with a lady who is a prostitute. Okay, who uses her body for wealth. Okay, so a prostitute. And does he criticize? Right? Does he criticize? He doesn't criticize. Okay. In all these 53 visits, there are some who are in not so good professions that he does not criticize, but he does not praise. In all the others, he praised them. Okay. He praised them for their deeds. Okay. 称赞. You praise. You praise them for the sake of what they are doing, okay, for the good that they are rendering to the society, for the merits that they have accumulated, okay, for those in the not so nice professions, right? He does not criticize them, but he doesn't praise them, okay, because if he praised them, people will follow the footsteps of these people and they may gather bad karma along the way. Okay, if you are a bodhisattva, you have to know there is a difference. Why is it that bodhisattvas can sometimes, if you look at all the stories, they can manifest into different looks and doing different things, and yet they, after a while, you discover that they are actually bodhisattvas and they are just demonstrating to us. It's like a theatrical play. Okay, there was once a monk. Okay, he was one of the patriarch of the one of the Buddhist sect. His parents were the manifestations of bodhisattvas. Okay, they did not say out loud that they are bodhisattvas during their lifetime. Okay, because as I've said earlier, if bodhisattvas reveal that they are bodhisattvas, then they will need to leave, right? And these ones, the parents, they are bodhisattvas and they manifest themselves as some horrible husband and wife. Okay, they will argue with each other and they will do horrible things against each other, fighting with each other and stuff like this. And they do this to show as an example to us as humans the consequences of all those bad actions. But do they go to hell because of their all these acts? They don't. Okay, because they are done without intention. Okay, they are done as like a theatrical play. They are done with the intention that, oh, this group of people, they will be able to benefit from this act to elevate their karma, karmic understanding, to elevate their person, okay, to be able to stop them from doing bad deeds. So around them, people may be violent, people may be vile, right? And they manifest into these sort of forms to demonstrate to them and to even show them how it is. It goes to the extreme where I think it was the mother, okay, it was a story, verbal story told, and I was listening to the YouTube videos of the late Venerable Master Ching Kong. You can look for it. The tongue of the mother, if I'm not mistaken, was split to two because of some horrible things that she had said. Okay, and even that after the tongue split to two, or um, she can still talk. So you can imagine this is not a normal human being. Okay, and to be able to do this, it has to be a bodhisattva who came here to demonstrate your evil deeds can have bad consequences. People were shocked, right? And then there was also that how do we know that they are bodhisattvas? Okay, the findings was that after they have died, of course, they have put them into the coffin, right? Normal rituals. You put them in the coffin and then you bury them. But when this monk went back to look for the carcass of his parents, right? Just to, I think, if not mistaken, it was actually for him to bring back their bones and then to put them at a temple or something like this. They opened the coffin, okay, that was already buried 6 feet underground. They opened the coffin and it was empty. Okay, which normal human being can do that when they have been dead and reduced to skeletons? None, right? So you can imagine these are not normal human beings. These are bodhisattvas. They manifest, okay, not from the thought of their own. Okay, they have already willed that they have this kind of freedom. Okay, the moment when you have transcended and you are a bodhisattva, your onion peels, your layers have already been peeled off so well that you can just manifest into whatever you are being called to. Okay, whatever that you are being called to, it is like you can manifest into an animal. Okay, if let's say there is somebody who will be able to benefit from you being an animal, okay, who can learn the Dharma because of your manifestation as an animal, right? Or somebody who can manifest himself as an old person, right? And then for some certain reasons, you were helping this older person, and then after helping this older person, the person will just, you just don't find them anymore, right? But along the way, you would have learned something. Okay, so it is not their wish to intentionally manifest, to intentionally become something, but they come because your karmic seed is ripe, your condition is ripe, you are in the right mindset to accept the teachings. So that's why they manifest. Okay, so back to our topic. So the manifestation, the first one, the donation of material things. All right, you understand that this is actually a manifestation. So the manifestation is in the form of a tool, okay, an object, money, okay, an object, food, an object, whatever you can think of, okay, those things that you will donate to other people. Medication, food, directly money, or even a building, whatever. So all these manifestations, if you are able to know that at the core of it, they are just objects. Okay, you don't become obsessed with them. You don't claim any ownership to them, because there was no ownership, because you actually don't own anything, right? Grossly speaking, if let's say today you just die, okay, touch wood, it won't happen to you because you're listening to my Dhamma talk right now. So grossly, if let's say we take an example, just died, okay, somebody just died, all right. So can he bring any of these things with him to his afterlife? He can't, right? All this money, everything means nothing to him. Okay, even for some people, if they have a deadly disease, the moment they figured out that they have a deadly disease, there are some people who will suddenly be able to realize that all the riches in the world cannot compensate for their lives. Okay, they can spend all that money looking for the best doctors, but it is a disease. And if they said that they only have 3 months to live, you can go still holding on to the hope of searching for a new doctor, or you spark into the realization that, oh, actually, all these things, okay, I can become a billionaire, I can become a trillionaire, a gazillionaire, whatever, but none of this actually matters. Okay, you will look into your entire life. When you are diagnosed with a deadly disease, you go through an entire life and wondering, have I done what is necessary? Or some may actually just wake up and say, it's all empty. Okay, regardless of how successful you are, how much money you have, how many children you have, or what kind of relationship that you have with your people, how many people love you, etc. At that moment, you are alone, and many people are feeling lonely because they can be with a lot of people, but they need to withstand the whatever situation by themselves. Okay, they can't pass on the disease to others, right? When it's terminal this way, of course I'm not talking about those communicable disease like COVID or whatever, but I'm talking about those things that will terminate one's lives, okay, like cancer, right, or heart disease or whatever. They will be solo in their journey despite having people around them. Sometimes some people, if let's say now you have like introverts and extroverts, right, even if somebody may actually be beside you, you will still feel the loneliness, because you will start wondering, this person has become so attached to me right now. If I were to die suddenly, can this person live happily without me? All right, you'll have this kind of thoughts, but I can't bring this person with me, because this we're talking about death. So I can't bring this person to me, and I wish that this person will live on happily, right? This is the very natural thought when it comes to this. But of course, there are exceptions where people will say that if I die, you die with me. That is a horrible thought, okay? But it comes to a realization: all these material things that we have accumulated, they are not nothing. They are really of no significance at all at the moment when we are at death's door. You can bring them with you, right? You can have all the billions in the world, but at that moment when your soul leaves the body, you can't even bring your body with you. You only have your soul and your karmic baggage. That is the only thing that you can bring with you, your karmic baggage. Okay, you have to remember that those are the seeds that you have planted in this life. It is carried through to your next life. Okay, the moment you step out and into another realm, that is already a reincarnation. Okay, you don't think about those things like, oh, I'm in this place, and so I will be waiting for don't know how many days. I have to accumulate, those folklores. I have to accumulate so much merit, and after that I can be reborn and things like this. No, the moment you step out of this body into another form, the formless, okay, you're just a soul. It's also a form. You're just a soul. You live out of this body. At that very moment, you are already reborn. Okay? At that moment, you are reborn, and your next existence is probably a ghost. If let's say you hold on to the spiritual manifestation, right? Or if after you have served there, okay, during that transition period, you have served there, right? That is already a reincarnation. And then you will go to the next reincarnation, right? Some people say that you have to go through that that bridge, taking the soup that makes you forget everything, whatever. Okay, so, or some people, the moment they leave, they jump into the hells. Okay, remember the hell, since I didn't finish that Dharma talk, because somehow things happened and I couldn't finish the Dharma talk. I just finished until the 10 good deeds that will prevent you from going to hell. Okay, if I were to elaborate on hell parts of it, I think a lot of people will stop listening to my other Dharma talks. Okay, because it's too scary, right? So after they have jumped out of this body into a different existence, that is already a reincarnation. You cannot take anything with you. You can't grab your money, you can't grab your people, you can't do anything else. Okay, so material things become insignificant. If you were to be reborn as a human being, you have come to a different family. What you have accumulated in the past cannot be applied to you now. Okay, you may be super rich in your past, and then you are suddenly born into a poor family that can't even afford anything. Or you may actually be born to a lady who has who was raped. Okay, that bad. So you can't bring anything material with you. Then upon this realization, you start giving. Okay, that first part, to hold it on, to say that the material things do not matter, so you start giving. All right, the more you give, the easier it becomes, and the easier it becomes, the more you share, because you realize that, oh, you have given. Maybe you say like, I want to give 100,000, okay, to my favorite charity. You give that 100,000 to your favorite charity, and then some people, they think like, oh, no, 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 100,000 is too much. What's going to happen to my life? What if there is emergency and I don't have that 100,000? Come to think of it, you have given away that 100,000 that you have no use for. Okay, it's probably just sitting right there in the bank doing nothing other than to accumulate that 5% interest for you. Right, investors will tell you that the accumulative dividends are going to make you rich, okay, or will give you reaps in abundance, right? But those are financial, and you know that you cannot bring it with you in your deathbed. So you give away that 100,000 to your favorite charity, the 100,000 that's been sitting there and you are not utilizing it. So you give it away to people who will be able to utilize it to better their lives. All right. So when you do that, you say, hey, I didn't need 100,000. I didn't need it then. I don't need it now. I give it away. Other people need it. Well, it's fine. It's just money. I don't see it. Even when it was there, I just know that it is there, but I'm not using it. So give it away to people who will use it, right? And then you will realize you don't even, whether it is there or it's not, it doesn't really matter. Okay, but the more you give, the more it will come back, because you planted the seed of charity. You have planted 100,000 for your charity, and then it will come back to you, right? If you have been scammed, 100,000, right? Your initial thought was actually to use the 100,000 as an investment. Maybe if you look at these days, there are a lot of investment scams, right? So you use your 100,000 to invest, and you hope that it will reap you the abundance, right? But it's being scammed, and then you realize that I didn't have that kind of wisdom to properly use the money. Or maybe if you were to look back, you may or may not have acquired that 100,000 in a legal good way. Okay, so giving it away is something like you either repay a debt. Maybe you have scammed the person who was scamming you in the past life, otherwise he won't be able to succeed in scamming you. Okay, you have to understand that. So if he scammed you the 100,000, past life debt is paid. Okay, severe the ties, past life debt is paid. So learn it to be wiser. I won't fall for the same kind of traps again in the future. Okay, that is the lesson that we learn. That is how we actually progress as people, right? And then from there, after you have uh, slowly you will realize I didn't have use for that 100,000. So, but I have that kind of money at that moment for this scammer to take it away from me. So I have paid my past life debt and I start afresh. So I continue working, I keep continue getting money. Okay, day after day, my life passed and it does not even matter. Okay, I still accumulate new wealth, I still get daily food, everything, nothing, no problem at all. Alright, so whether the money is there or not, it is of no significance. So it might as well, if the scammer has use for it, then go ahead. If the scammer is only scamming to keep a lot of money in his life, go ahead with him. It is his choice on how he want to use the money, right? So if he used the money for good, then it is good. But if he uses the money for bad, then it is his bad karma as well. So it doesn't really matter, right? So you learn how to, if you were to look carefully at all these things, all these material things as just a tool. People want it, nah, take it. I have no use for it. Or people need it, take it. I have no use for it. Alright? If let's say, but I'm not telling you to work and then to just throw everything out. Okay? You realizing that this is a tool. When you work and you earn, you have to have that sufficient amount so that you can pay for your livelihood, so that you can not be a burden to other people. Okay, the burden that I'm talking about is like if I were to have a salary. Okay, let's say I work and my salary, my take home pay is maybe like 5,000. 5,000, I want to make sure that I pay to my parents, I pay to my family, I have enough food for my own use, and my family has food. And then there's also some extra in case, after, because now like we need transportation, right? I keep an amount so that next time I can have that kind of amount to buy a new car, right? And enough to pay the down payment for the car so that I don't get a huge loan to burden myself. Or maybe I will probably need a new house, right? Because I don't want to be staying with my parents to burden them every single day or whatever. Okay, so you can keep a sufficient amount for that. Okay, any extra, just give it to charity. Okay, you can keep them until and you get the like a fixed deposit kind of a thing, and then after that accumulate them until you see a suitable charity that you want to give to, a cause that you want to donate to. That is also fine. Okay, but otherwise this money will just sit there and accumulate, but you have no use for it. What's the point, right? So the more you give, the more will come back to you in leaps and bounds. Okay, this is how karma works. So the other charity, 财布施、法布施，法布施 is dharma. Okay, fa is dharma. So how do you give the gift of dharma? Okay, like right now you're watching this video, I am sharing a dharma talk with you. This is my gift of dharma. Okay, so I use my time, I use my um, ability to speak, right? I use this camera, I use whatever, my YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm sharing the dharma. This is my gift of dharma. Okay, alternatively, there are those who are printing the dharma books, right? Printing the sutras. So if you were to donate to it and then you for the cost of the printing of these Dharma books, of the religious books, or of whatever books that are teaching about morality, okay, real teachings, okay, teaching about morality, teaching people to be good, teaching people to live in a harmonious environment, how to create that really nice give and take kind of environment where everyone is peaceful, right? These kind of books, they are also a dharma giving, okay? Or maybe if let's say you're not even giving directly these kind of things, like the way that you will demonstrate to another person, okay, if let's say you do this, this is your consequences. If let's say you do that, that is your consequences. You demonstrate for this person to see, so that this person can actually learn from the dharma, from what you're demonstrating. That is also a charity of dharma, okay. There are many ways to do this, all right. You don't need to necessarily be teaching, like now I'm talking to you about the sutra. You don't need to be necessarily be doing this, okay. There are many other ways. So 财富是法布施. The easiest way for 法布施 is to print the Dharma books, or maybe after printing, some of you may not be able to meet those who are directly the printers to do that printing, right? But there are already Dharma books that you can just buy off the shelf, and then you just give it for free at the temple and things like this, okay. Sometimes I go to the printer, okay, a printer that I'm familiar with, and they do a lot of Dharma book printing. So I used to just buy, like, in volumes, to what I can afford, of course, like 20 or 50 books, you know, a few hundred or even 1,000 ringgit at a time. And then after I have gotten them, I just put them in different temples for free distribution. Okay, that is also a Dharma giving. Right, so 法布施. And another one is 无畏布施. 无畏布施, that means you give the gift of harmlessness. Okay, everyone lives in fear, right? Everyone lives in fear, so you should make sure that people are comfortable, okay? Nobody has to live in fear, all right? So it's like you give a gift of compassion to others. Like if you were to go to the street and then you see a puppy, right? A stray dog. Stray dogs go around minding their own business until they are triggered, until they feel fear. But where did the fear come from? It has to be triggered somewhere. Nobody feels fear out of a sudden, right? There has to be a trigger. So what was the trigger? Somebody threatening them, all right? Or they feel somebody coming close to them that will cause harm to them or to their families, right? So we give the gift of harmlessness. We help people to feel peaceful. We make sure that people are not afraid when they are around us, all right. We let them feel at ease, right. We help them, or maybe you can be giving them charity of medicine, all right, to cure them of their disease, of their illness. Or there are those people who are not able to pay for their hospital fees. You just donate to for them to get their medications, right? So there are many avenues to this, okay. So after, with all these givings, right, you will realize that there are many things that we don't really need in this life. There are many things that does not really mean significant to our existence, the physical existence right here in this Dharma world. So when we look deep right into it, after we have let go, we look deep into it. The deeper we look, the more we give, the more we let go. Okay, so when we 称赞如来, when we praise the future Buddha, these future Buddhas, it is all us, right? Each and every one of us. We are the future Buddhas. It's just a matter of when. Okay, you want to expedite it, then you do these 3 kinds of charity, and then the more you give, the more you let go, the more you let go, the more you give, right? It speeds up the process. But the very last one that is hard for many people is about the ego. Okay, the ego, the letting go of ego is almost like you are letting go of yourself. Okay, when people say about selflessness, they will think about those who are sacrificing for the country in war. Okay, they apparently that is the ego that they let go of. But a lot of people, they misconstrue. Some people, they are not letting go of their lives because they are letting go of their ego. Okay, a lot of them, they are letting go of their lives in wars because they think that this is what I do. People are going to glorify me for the patriotic deeds that I have done. People are going to glorify me because I died in the war zone. People are going to glorify me after my death and hail me as a hero because of something. Your ego is still at play, right? You just gave up your life, but you still have the ego attached. So how do people that has let go of ego look and feel like? Right? These people are those that will not be thinking of their own benefits. Okay? These are people that will not be calculative. Right? If they see things that are not right, even if it is going to require some very menial tasks or tasks that are involve getting dirty with their hands and stuff like this, they will go and help. Okay, it'll be nothing about ego. Even if they have to stoop low to do that thing, right? As long as it is the right thing, then automatically the logic says that you have to do this to get that kind of result without thinking about themselves or how they look like on camera, right? They will just go and do it, right? A lot of people, like nowadays, you see some of the stories on your IG, on your threads, on your whatever. They will be showing people doing good deeds, but all these people going to good deeds are behind the camera, right? You need to film them, and after that, you just post them. But there are those that do good deeds, but they don't allow people to know. They don't go and spread all these stories around. They don't go around publicizing their good deeds, right? Because for them, it is just like, oh, you are in need, I do it for you. You need this, I will give it to you. All these good deeds, right? No strings attached because there was no ego attached. Ego is that self that you are trying to protect that still does not belong to you, that still will betray you if you made the wrong choice in life. Okay, so future Buddhas is not just Maitreya Buddha. Maitreya Buddha is showing you how to become a future Buddha. Maitreya Buddha is an image, a representation of, let's say, if you were able to embrace, okay, letting go of the ego, you embrace, and with a smiling face, you embrace everything in your tummy, and those that need something, you can get it from the back. Okay, you can become a Buddha. All right. So, future Buddhas, I will speak to you again in the next Dharma talk. Now is what, 43 minutes. Okay, so we shall meet again in the next episode. All right. Until then, please stay good, stay safe, and we shall see you again next week. Thank you. Bye bye. Amitabha.